Okay, so before I kick off the latest getting the crap beaten out of me at Blackjack and Baccarat Saving the Day demo, I just want to spend a moment with this graphic thing that I've just produced. Excuse me, because I'm constantly trying to explain to people that patterns are everything in these games. Not knowing ahead what's going to happen, just being ready with the right bet when something that is beneficial to you crops up. And, we always have to remember every single bet faces the same negative expectation, whatever it might be, whatever the game. And in blackjack in particular, it's somewhat less than 1%, but it's a negative expectation nonetheless, 49.5 to 50.5. In Baccarat, it's about 1.3% for the house. So you're looking at, whatever the balance is there. You can figure it out. Well, I'll tell you now, it's 49.35 versus 50.65. I think that's how it works. Anyway, point is, every single bet, same negative expectation. But what you want to make sure of is that when things are looking potentially good, none of this nonsense about, well, it's been seven players in a row, so it must be banker next. That's all bullshit. It's absolute nonsense. It's what the casinos want you to believe because they want you to bet randomly, they want you to bet emotionally, they want you to bet stupidly, drunkenly, excitedly, whatever. They certainly don't want you paying attention to the numbers and exploiting them. That's the last thing they want. This is why they always dump on progressive betting, because they say it's suicide, it's stupid, it's blah, blah, blah. In fact, as they well know, it is the only thing that can threaten or even destroy their bottom line. Anyway, let's have a look at this. This is patterns, so you can see obviously these are losing streaks and these are winning streaks. And you can also see that very often long losing streaks are not followed by very long winning streaks. So, you might not have time to recover. But if you've got the right bet out at the right time, as I say, you can make hay while the sun shines, catch up with your loss to date, get back to a minimum bet and start a new, well, I like to call them skirmish is. You can call it whatever you like, series, sequence, challenge, whatever. But the main thing is always fall back to the minimum bet as soon as you've reached your target. And if that means going to another table because your minimum bet per the strategy is too low for the table, then just go to another table. Don't let the casinos tell you what to do. Let the strategy tell you what to do. Let your brain tell you what to do. Don't be pushed around by casino house rules or table rules or whatever. That's key. Anyway, so here you got it. I mean, this is just 1,000 outcomes. The random betting, the random number generator has been set to reference 4935, which basically is an overall house advantage of it should be 1.3%, but this one isn't low enough. So there we go. There's 2.9%, which is really shitty. So you get a better look at what all of this means, and you see these nasties here. Fair enough, but you can recover from them because look at this. You keep getting these. But if you flat bet like Vegas Matt and the other sort of professionals, then you're never going to make any use out of the winning streaks that could have saved your ass if you'd only been paying attention. So on the next thing, exactly the same strategies, same outcomes are being referenced, but here I've got a skip going on. Where I don't allow a losing streak to go on longer than 3. I just say no, to hell with that. And in this particular instance, I'd have skipped, what is that? That's 124 bets, and I would have ended up, unfortunately, slightly worse off than if I'd stuck around for the whole bunch. But what I've done is I've just said, okay, I do not want to piss around with anything that goes longer than So you can do one or two things here. You can walk away from a table after -3, which means you're going to be doing a lot of walking, or -3 if you prefer to call it, or a losing streak of 3 or more. So it's better to just drop, to fall back to a minimum bet if you can. Uh, I try to do, as you will have seen if you've watched any of the demos, I try to go for a fifth of the full value of the bet, but I don't always remember to do that. And, it doesn't really matter in the end, so long as you're not getting badly hurt by a prolonged losing streak. So let's have a look. Let's do another one, another recalc, and we get 3.4 to 3.9. So there was a slight edge there, a slight advantage to doing that. But the little numbers like the percentages there don't really matter very much. What counts is the bet values. It's all these games are all about how you bet. And if you bet smartly, then you've got a chance of kicking some serious ass. If you bet dumbly and all the other things that I mentioned, emotionally, stupidly, drunkenly, tiltedly, whatever you want to call it, then you're going to get your ass kicked. So, up to you, but do another one. And there, a little bit of a disadvantage, but we're not suffering long losing streaks that really hurt us anymore. And that's very important. So, anyway, food for thought. Do with it as you will, as I always say. Throw it away, say, no, he's nuts. I really don't care. But I just want to continue with this campaign to try and persuade at least a few sensible, logical, sort of responsive people to think about the fact that there is a way to beat these games, but not if you play like the pros on YouTube. They're all bonkers. There's no doubt about it. They're all nuts. Catch you next time. Okay, so this time I'm using the wizard's table to put off the hard work that's coming up, because there are a couple of really interesting sessions that I want to run through the pattern betting algae or algorithm mill for a couple more presentations on the channel. He could have done better, or he didn't need to lose, or whatever. Mr. HP, he actually came out ahead 5,000. And then Casino King was celebrating with his brother's birthday, celebrating his brother's birthday with him. He won 1,000. Matt won 1,000, and Zach, I think his name is, lost 1,000. And so Matt gave his brother his winnings, which is really cute. But anyway, that's nice. And I'm still hoping for Turbo to be back, but I have stopped holding my breath. That was fast. Oh dear. Okay. +1. Bummer. 1, 2. No, 51 second. 2, 3 third. Oh, good. Dealer 23. Always like that. All right, back to the min. Double down. Rubbish. 51 second. Another dealer 23. I like it. That's a repeater. That's a splitter. That's a double downer. And that's a double downer. Oh, bloody hell. What do? We got a push and a win. All right, that's good. So clear that and back to the minimum. +1. Show off. 1, 2 second. Okay, double for the push. That might work. Yep. I always say that might work because I always expect something weird to happen, you know. You just don't know with this here wizard. So that's a repeater. That's a bummer. Double for the push. All right. Boom, 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 boom. 1, 2, I think. Well, that was pretty. Minimum. Yeah, anything you see on this sim, it's as real as a game can be. It's just the same, um, just slower. That'll be the usual thing now. If I get into trouble, if the next bet is over 5,000, then I'm going to run away. What happened there? That's a repeat, I guess. Nice try. Really dragging this out, eh? That would be sad. I mean, if that had been a 6 up there, that would have been very sad, don't you think? Dealer 22! Hooray. God, I watched this maniac, Cody Burnett from Toronto. He had a dealer 22 and he had 284,000 on the table. I mean, can you even imagine it? I mean, it's just bloody insane. I assume that's a repeat. If I only paid attention. 51 second. What? 51, 2, 3, third. I should think so, mate, after that last one. Bloody hell. Yeah, my attention span is definitely not what it used to be. 1, 2, third. 3, 2, drop. That would have been nice, wouldn't it? 3, 2 it is. And now we're actually going to bet 3, 2. Ah! Okay, back to the men. Yeah, we're not setting the world on fire, but we're not losing. That's the main thing. You know, and you folks who think there's something rigged or something specially easy or anything like that with this Wizard of Oz sim, just give it a go and report back when you make more money than I do. That's got to be. Oh, I think I better call it 1, 2 because I lost track again. Well, that was nice. Back to the men. Yeah, and then there are the people who say that I take advantage of this thing up here, but of course I don't because I just play I play the pattern betting strategy and the basic strategy for blackjack to decide when to hit or stand. It's that simple. Where am I? +1. Double for the loss. Player 22. 1-2, third. Three-two, drop. And we go again. And we split them. $13 against. I can never remember that one. I think it's a hit. Yeah, it's a hit. Shouldn't have been a hit, should it? Jesus Christ. And neither one of them was the right move. Look at that. 2 10s came. Would have blown him away. Okay, so we're still on, we're on 4-2 now. That's what we're doing. Oh, that's just ridiculous. Ridiculous. It's going to be 5-2 in a minute. Dealer 23. Did I say 5-2? Oh, 7-4. $11-8. Damn. Third. Oh, and look at that 8 up there. Oh dear. 19, so that's 2-1, but we got a drop. So that's the drop. 2-1, so that's 22-10 right now. Dealer 22. 22, so it's got to be 2.5, 1 then, isn't it? Oh boy. It's got to be 4.5, 5, which means I'm running away from here. So we've got +97. I almost prefer it, actually. It's 4.5, 5 times 1,000. Okay, so we got +97, 725, and then the marker is 100,000. So we move on to baccarat. And I'll see you in a minute. All right, then. So here, once again, third time in a row, we're having to go to baccarat with 4.5, 5 is the damage right now. And I think we have to go straight into that. I wasn't smart enough to notice whether that was the third. Well, I'll find out soon enough if that was a good idea or not. 4.5, 5. I think I'm going to add just 1. 4.5, 6. And there you go. Out of trouble. The story at this point is that we were 2,275 down when we left the blackjack table. So because of the tie, I added 1,000, which was naughty of me. But it's the kind of, that's where wiggle room lies, you know. It's because you don't double in response to a tie. if the bet is over 100, unless you can make a better fist of the turnaround bet, which is basically what I chose to do there. 4.5, 5 would have given us a decent profit. This was even better. So, like I say, we're looking at what did I say? Minus 200, 275. Yeah, we lost 2,275 at blackjack, and we won 6,000 over here. So that's that's good. So now back to the min. And it's funny because there's definitely people out there who say, well, sims are not the real thing, blah 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 blah, and yet not one of them has come back to me and said, okay, well, I just creamed baccarat win pro sim, or I just kicked the shit out of the wizards sim, because they're just too easy, and you're cheating or whatever. They don't do that. That's a repeat. Excuse me. So sorry. What was that? A loss? That doesn't sound right. Okay, so 51 second. And still a repeat. 1, 2. Don't do anything with that. 1, 2 is there. Okay, we didn't make very much, but we made. $51. Double for the tie. Back to the min. Ah, 1, 2. No, repeat. Back to the min. Double for the loss. $51. Repeat. This is a friendly shoe so far. I mean, look at this down here. +1. Read my big mouth. 51. 2, 3, third. 5, 3. Hopping. 5, 3 it is. 1, 2, 3. 8, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oops. Yeah. Small amount of commission to grab back there, so I'm not going to bother with that. Well, yes, I am. There we are. So that's in the bag now. Banker minimum. Double for the tie. Should have been +1, that should have been, and then +1, and then +1. Going mad now. And then +1, plus max, that is. So that's a repeater. And that's now 3, 5 on the bank. Bugger! There we are. Still on the bonker. Beat it. 51 second. 2, 4. Bugger. There we are. Still on the bank. Double for the loss. 1, 2, third. 3, 2. Hopping. was the 3-2. That was our win trigger. 5-4. Damn it. 9-10. We're going to get into trouble here. We may yet. 2-1 going to the bank. P1, P2. God, I hate this. You can't avoid it, you know. Did I say 4-1 or 2? Oh, God. Okay, so it's 2.5-1 basically, isn't it? Now 1.5. 2. Do I need to add to that? Not yet, I don't think. Okay. So we might have lost a little bit. See, this is the giveaway up here is the wins and losses. You know, we've won 22 and we've lost 23, and we have a shoe balance of 8,200. Now, all of you who think that I'm cheating, that I'm somehow getting a special treatment from this sim, well, number one, you're mad. Number two, you haven't bothered to test the thing yourself because you'd very quickly learn that that's absolute bollocks. Number three, you're just not following the whole principle of pattern betting, which is not to predict anything, not to assume anything, not to take anything for granted in any way, not to do silly things like follow the winner or, you know, sort of avant-dernier or whatever. All of those things have their place for people who enjoy them, because the rule throughout all of these demos is I always say the same thing. Your money, your choice. But what I'm doing is I'm opportunistic. I'm simply saying, okay, there is a good possibility, slightly less than 50-50, but there's a good possibility that the win that I took as my win trigger will be followed by another win. And if I need it, by another win after that. So what I want to do is make sure I've got a decent amount of money out, which will make a dent in my loss to date. I was about to say make a hole in my hole, but that's no good. So all I'm saying is you just have to have the right amount of money out at the right time. And these guys, I mean, Vegas Matt is absolutely famous for this. It's absolutely astonishing. I just recently watched him do it again. I mean, like before I talked about how he had 8 wins in a row and he bet the same every time. And I think this last time it was 6 or 7 wins in a row, and he's just going 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. I mean, it makes no sense unless you consider the possibility that he's doing what he's told. Don't chase winning streaks because that's bad for the house, you know. So I don't know what's going on with most of these guys. And having just processed a couple of sessions with Cody Burnett, damn, madness, utter madness. Anyway, we came out okay. That cost us 200. We're going back to the bank with a mini. Double for the loss. 1, 2, third. There it is. Still bonking. Double for the tie. 51. Repeat it. Back to the min. Double for the loss. 1, 2 again. Aha! 3, 2. Hopping. B1, B2, bugger it. 3-2 hopping. 1-2. Turn around. And there it is, by golly. Oh, and look at that. Now, obviously, I rigged that, right? You know, I mean, it's just so blatant. All right, save the shoe. That's job one. And go up and have a look at it. All right, so that was a nice shoe. It paid 858, and we're 2,275 in the hole. So we're covered. That was from, so we're negative from blackjack, but very positive here. And Alexa, stop. I'm actually getting people saying to me they like hearing Alexa giving me a hard time. Okay, so 27 into 12.5 and 29 into 4,000, slightly less than 4,000. So, I mean, that's obvious that was a very powerful win more when you win than you lose when you lose. But of course, we started out with a 6,000 win. So, that was kind of nuts, wasn't it? Yeah, there it is, 6,000. Okie dokie. So there we are. It's over for now. I'll catch you next time.